Hello, grade 6. Today we're working on Chapter 1, Section 5, Patterns and Spreadsheets. With our spreadsheets, you probably already have access to a spreadsheet on whichever device you're using. If you're using a Windows machine, you may have access to Microsoft Excel. That's one available to you. If you have a device like a tablet, you can probably use Google Sheets in your G Suite access with the board. But you may also have another spreadsheet. Some of them are going to be online, but the two that I mentioned you may already have. And we're going to see if we can use spreadsheets to find patterns. Here's our question. Pamela wants to know how much money she would have if her bank tripled her money every day for 30 days. She starts with $2. And we're going to complete this table, which is a sample of a spreadsheet. We're going to see if we can see some kind of a pattern. The first thing we're going to have to do if we're using a spreadsheet is set it up and find out what everything is. Along the top, in the horizontal, all of the spreadsheet columns are labeled with a letter. So this column here is labeled column A. This column is labeled column B. It's not here, but if it was here, it would say column C and then column D and all the way on. This section, or these labels, are numbers that label the row. So this entire row here is called row 1. This is row 2, and so on down the line. That means that we can click on any one of these rectangles called cells. It's called a cell, and we are going to give it a name. So this cell right here that I've highlighted is in column A, row 3. So this is called A3. Right here, what I've highlighted right there, it's in column B and in row 2. So this would be called B2. We could do one more. This one right here, this column is in column B, row 6. So this is B6. If you play certain games like Battleship, this is familiar to you. So now I'm filling in my spreadsheet. I've made two spreadsheets showing the same thing. However, they definitely look different. What you see here is what you would type on your keyboard into each cell. So I've written it explicitly, and this is what you would actually type. The one at the bottom, though, is what would show up, is what you would see after you type this in. So in A1, for example, I typed in the words day number. I've given my column a heading. In B1, in this cell, I've typed in amount in dollars. I've given that column a heading. So I'm filling this in by simply numbering all of my term numbers. So day number 1, day number 2, day number 3, and you'll notice that this entire column transfers right down. It transfers right down because the spreadsheet recognizes it as text. In column B, amount and to also transfer right down. But I'm going to explain what all of these symbols mean in the ones that look different in this chart compared to this chart. So this equal sign is telling your spreadsheet that what you are about to type is a number and an operator. What that means is that it's giving this cell an instruction to follow. It's not just text to copy straight out, but it's an instruction. So once I put that equal sign, it becomes an instruction. The instruction is take whatever is in cell B2, that's what the B2 means. This star means multiply, and this 3 means multiply it by 3. So let's go through this. In B2, that's up here. This is B2, and there's a 2 in there. So this is saying take 2, multiply it by 3, and that becomes a 6. And that's why when you type this in, it becomes a 6 down here. The next one, in cell B4, it's saying take whatever is in cell B3 and multiply it by 3. Well, we've already said that B3 has 6 in it. So if we multiply 6 times 3, we get 18, and that's what appears down here. And you can see I keep going on making reference to the information above it. Let's take this one for example. Equals B5 times 3. This is stating take whatever is in B5, multiply it by 3. So B5 has 54, multiply it by 3, we have 162. And the reason I did this, multiplying it by 3, is Pamela's spreadsheet indicates her money would be tripled every day for 30 days. We have here only the first 5 days. So from day 1 to day 5, the money has gone from $2 to $162. We want to see what would happen over 30 days. And I've done that too. I've done this spreadsheet right here. You'll notice that from 1 to 5, all of that is exactly what we saw. With a spreadsheet or manually, you can get your calculator out and just keep multiplying it by 3. So $162 times 3 is 486. 486 times 3 is 1,458. And you can keep doing this all the way down. Or you can use a spreadsheet. A reminder that whenever you do some kind of a calculation, you must always put the equal sign in front, or it will simply recognize it as text, something that you are typing in. It's not going to recognize it as a calculation. So this is every day for 30 days. You can tell I'm increasing by 3 every time, rather increasing by a factor of 3 every time. So after 30 days, this is the number that we achieve. Notice I've written it with the period here indicating cents, but I've also written it separating the periods of 3 with a comma. So this number, red, would state 137 trillion, 260 billion, 754 million, 729,766. And this was easy to read because I wrote them all in periods of 3. And that's finding our patterns with a spreadsheet. Have a good day, everyone.